If you thought politics in 2026 couldn't get any weirder, buckle up, because this past week had very interesting events. In the last 72 hours, President Trump got into a direct feud with the first American-born Pope, Pope Leo, and posted an AI-generated image of himself essentially impersonating none other than Jesus Christ. Yes, you heard me correctly. Impersonating Jesus Christ. Let's look at the first event, Trump versus Pope Leo. For those who haven't been following the Vatican recently, Pope Leo was elected just last year, May. He's from Chicago. He's got the accent to prove it. And he's been a vocal critic of the administration's handling of the Iran war. This past week, the Pope called Trump's recent threat to wipe out Iranian civilization, a comment made on Easter Sunday, no less, as unacceptable and inhumane. Now, Trump didn't take this lying down. He took to Truth Social, which is a social media platform, calling the Pope, and I quote, weak on crime and terrible for foreign policy. He even suggested that Leo was only elected, and listen to this, because the church wanted a liberal American counterweight. Trump even claimed that he liked the Pope's brother more because he was all MAGA, which is an abbreviation for Make America Great Again. The tension hit a breaking point when the administration officially cut funding to Catholic Charities this Thursday. We are seeing a historic rift between the White House and the Vatican. But the feud, nonetheless, was just an appetizer. And let's look at the second event, which took place on Monday. Trump posted this image. It's an AI-generated painting that shows Trump in biblical robes performing what looks like a miraculous healing on a man in a hospital bed. The backlash was instant. Even his staunchest allies, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, called it blasphemy.
Working together. Congressman Marjorie Taylor Greene, I have to ask you if you believe that the president thought he was depicting himself as a doctor, not Jesus, in that post.
No, absolutely not. I thought that was blasphemy. As a Christian, I was very offended.
Conservative commentator Megyn Kelly went further, saying it was Trump purporting to be God. After 12 hours of the word blasphemy trending on X, Trump deleted the post. His excuse, you might wonder, this is what he had to say.
Mr. President, did you post that picture of yourself depicted as Jesus Christ?
Well, it wasn't depiction. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as the doctor, and had to do with Red Cross, as a Red Cross worker there, which we support. And only the fake news could come up with that one. So I just heard about it, and I said, how did they come up with that? It's supposed to be me as a doctor.
It's a classic Trump don't believe your lying eyes moment. But for many, the line between strong leader and false idol is starting to blur. Now let's get into the heavy stuff. Whenever a political figure starts blending the line between secular power and divine authority, a certain A word starts trending, and a certain question with the word has been trending. And that question is, who is the Antichrist? Who is the Antichrist? Now, most people think Antichrist just means someone who hates Christ or who is the opposite of Christ. But looking at the word in its original context, the Greek prefix anti has a double meaning. It doesn't just mean against, but it also means in place of or substitute. In a biblical sense, the Antichrist isn't necessarily someone who is walking around declaring war against Christianity. Instead, it is a power that seeks to usurp Christ's role, acting as a counterfeit in the place of the divine. In future programs, we will have a deeper study on the topic of the Antichrist. But for now, here's what I can do for people that want to go ahead and study the topic for themselves, maybe for the first time, maybe for the 100th time, and also for people who might know the answer but don't necessarily understand the biblical progression that leads to the answer. Now, consider this your roadmap, your biblical roadmap. Scripture doesn't just give us a vague warning. It provides a consistent pattern of a system that blends religious appearance with political authority to distort the truth. From the little horn, going from the Old Testament, from the little horn in Daniel chapter 7 and Daniel chapter 8, that changes the divine law, to the man of sin in the New Testament in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, who usurps God's place, and finally to the global enforcement of worship in Revelation chapter 13, the theme there being substitution. It's about a power that stands in the place of Christ while redirecting the world's ultimate allegiance away from God. So why am I making this video? Why research about these events? Well, prophecy is meant to be an alarm clock. These events that are currently happening are meant to awaken us, God's people, back into our Bibles. We aren't called to be passive spectators, but we are called to be watchmen on the wall. When people out there see a world that is descending into chaos and religious confusion, they start searching for something that is real. They start looking for the truth, and in looking for the truth, they need vessels, people who actually know what the word says. So the goal ultimately isn't just to be right about politics. It's to be unified in the truth so that we can reach a world that is clearly hungry for it. As lines between the secular and the sacred continue to blur in 2026, our job is to point people back to the only one who does not need an AI filter or political platform, the real King of Kings. So I want to encourage us as we take a look at these events, as we live through the unfolding of prophecy. I want to encourage us to search the scriptures together and get our houses in order, and to move forward in unity to share this message to the whole world. Please share and subscribe. See you soon.